Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name's Stevie D. I go by Steve, some friends and stuff out there. I kind of wanted to start just kind of like I guess like a vlog kind of thing. And start kind of going through a lot of this stuff about addiction and how this huge epidemic, they call it an epidemic kind of thing. It's just like any other kind of drug or, anything out there, about how prescription pills and heroin and all this other stuff is kind of taking over the youth in the world today. There's a lot of things that are going on out there that's really affecting the world, and it's really affecting our kids and how young they're starting off with a lot of this stuff. I kind of wanted to start this because of me, and I kind of want to be there to see if I can start some support for some other people. I was, I had actually been doing prescription pills for basically the past 4 years. Kind of started off as just a thing because, I actually have a lower back problem, and it was just so easy to get it prescribed by the doctor, and you take one or two and it kind of felt good or whatever, and then the weekend came and you're hanging out with some friends or whatever, you take a couple more or whatever, and it, without realizing, you kind of turn into abusing it without trying to, but then you start getting addicted to it without you even knowing it. And once you've been taking a lot of these prescription pills for a certain amount of time, your body gets so used to it, and you don't think that coming off of these pills or just trying to stop taking these things are that bad. I actually got to the point to, and you got to think this is over 4 years, and some people, I've seen them do this even faster, and what this usually ends up transitioning to is heroin or shooting up or speed or any of that stuff. I never got to that point because I just I didn't want to, and at some time I had the money to support my habit, which that ultimately goes away. Everybody, no matter how much money you got, you think you have enough, and when you drop 10, 15, 20 grand on just pills without even thinking about it, or whatever, that gets pretty expensive. And that's why most people end up going to heroin or some other kind of synthetic drug or something like that, because it's $20 rather than $800 or something like that. I started off just taking like a half of a 10 milligram tablet, maybe once or twice a day, and I ultimately got to the point to where I was taking 40, 30 milligram tablets in a day, 3 or 4 of them at a time, about every hour. And a lot of people, they'll take them by mouth or snort them or whatever, and it all just kind of depends on, different ways that they did stuff. And, I didn't want to start this, and I don't want people, please don't start talking shit or, whatever about just keep your stuff. I want to start this to kind of be like a positive thing. And I kind of wanted to see where this goes, because what I want to do is start documenting my recovery. Right now, I'm kind of proud of myself, but starting Wednesday, I started going to a methadone clinic. I know it sounds bad, trying not to replace one thing with another, but you got to start somewhere, and you got to try getting help somewhere. Unfortunately, I had been trying for almost 6 months to a year to find somewhere to either get treatment or somehow to even start getting treatment, because when I went to my doctor, I told him, hey, I'm getting sick when I stopped taking these things, and I didn't tell him how much I was doing, because he was only, the amount he was prescribing me wouldn't cover that entire amount. It would basically, his response was, well, I'll just drop your dosage. I'll just start, instead of me giving you, whatever, 300 or whatever in a month, I'm going to just drop it down, and that doesn't fix anything, especially if your body's not used to it. You can't just stop doing what you're doing and, and kind of go into it. And the doctor's point is they don't care. They're not on the stuff, and if they are, they're not going to let you know or something like that. But I ended up talking to some doctors that I had as as friends, and they straight out tell me that they would prescribe this stuff because they make their money off of visits, family visits and stuff like that. And once they get somebody addicted to this, they're basically coming back about every 3 to 4 weeks, no matter what, for that visit, like clockwork, every month. And I mean, you get a doctor that has, 100, 200 patients like that every month, just consistently coming back. That's no matter what. It's a business. They're making money. Everybody is a business. It's all about sales. I'm in the sales, and everything is about sales. It's about numbers. If you can get that monthly residual up, that's a really easy income coming through. Now, in the past year, that's when the government kind of started cracking down and causing a lot of problems with these doctors, and they all got scared, and the first thing they did was just, I'm going to stop prescribing. And that's when my doctor came out and just, I'm not prescribing you anymore. Just stopped it at one point. So even though I was getting some, and then I was having to buy some more, somewhere on the side, or whatever it was, or getting it from a friend or whatever, just because the doctor stopped giving it to me doesn't mean I just stopped. I had to find another way to take it. And you always think you're slick about it, and you think nobody really notices, but a lot of people notice. I got a lot of friends and stuff that kind of went the other way. I don't know if it's because of that or just because you change without noticing, or without yourself, really thinking about it. You change and get lazy, sleep around. I gained 120 pounds. Right now, that's another thing I wanted to kind of start documenting. I'm going to start going working out. I'm going to, change my life. And I want to start building like a support group to where if somebody needs help, I want to help them. I went to multiple places and got turned down, or people were telling me they're 2, 3, 4 months out on starting, if they'll even start me. And, there's no like real help to get out there. Fortunately, I found a place that, I started thinking that there's people that have money, and I know they're on this stuff. There's no way that they're going and waiting at these places that, the people that take access, and they just stand out there waiting. So, there's got to be a place that pays, you pay cash for it. It might be more expensive, but at least you're getting treatment, and at least you're getting out of it. If I was basically spending $1,000 a day and it cost me $300 a week, or $100 a week or whatever, that's a lot cheaper than $1,000 a day. In some cases, that's how bad it was. Now, before this, I did start dropping down, but that was still kind of into it. I think a lot of this stuff, I'm kind of jumping in and kind of going over everything and trying to tell my story real fast, but as time goes on, I kind of want to, break down things a little bit more and go over everything with you guys. I just trying to throw everything out there at one time, but, I just want people to know that if you're ready to stop, you gotta do it for yourself and your family, and, mainly yourself. If you got kids, you have to do it for that. You're gonna lose everything no matter what. I don't care how you think you don't have an addiction. An addiction doesn't mean that you have to have it also, and you have to be at the point where what I was doing, or being on heroin, or being on anything like that. An addiction could be that you're just doing it just because, and getting to the point where you're on methadone or something like that, or where you're doing another something just so you're not coming down. And what I mean coming down is, I can't really describe the pain and how my body goes through this stuff. When I wouldn't get it, or when I couldn't get it, or I didn't have the money to get it or something, it would basically be like my body was burning from the inside out, sweating nonstop. And then you could feel like your bones are shaking so bad, you can't stop throwing up. Your nose is just draining down, your eyes are just tearing, your stomach's just releasing itself all over the place. You can't control yourself. And you think I'm exaggerating, and it's not a pretty sight. You can't hold yourself. You can't, no matter what you do, it hurts so bad. And I would hate to see my kids go through this stuff. I would hate to see anybody else go through this. If there's anything I can do to help somebody to just stop or not do it, I want to help. You know, it's a hard thing to even talk about, and I think that's why I really want to talk about it, because it's messed up. You know, I don't know how to describe it. You know, I want to build a support group. I want to build a lot of stuff to help people out there. You know, my first day, this is actually, like I said, I started on Wednesday. Finally, I found that, like I said, I found that place. I started on Wednesday. Today's Saturday. My first day was horrible. I thought I just said, all right, cool, I'm getting treatment. Boom. And they start you off with the smallest dosage, which is 30 milligrams, and then you can come back or whatever and get, 10 more if you're really hurting that bad during the day, and go to 40. But that's still, I mean, going from the amount that I was going, even if I wasn't doing that amount, it still would be the same thing. When I was coming down, it was so horrible. I thought I was finally free, and you get this relief, like you think you're free, and it was like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and my body just started going off. And I hadn't really been telling anybody about what I was doing, and I finally, I'm a huge mama's boy, and when I told my mom, and that was probably the hardest thing out of this entire thing. I wanted to tell my mom because I didn't want to lie to her. I didn't want her to be scared about what was going on, because I knew things were going to start getting bad. And, I didn't want her to think that I was just, I just wanted to be on, and I wanted her support 100%. Because out of anybody that's out there, that's the one person that's always on my back. And the look, I think I hurt her more than anything, seeing her cry and her, her pain, and she's the type of person that would just take it away. And she would do anything to take the pain away from me, and she couldn't. That was kind of the hard thing. She really couldn't. I know I'm tearing up because that's, it's a big, it's messed up. It's without trying to get into too much cussing and stuff like that. It's just a really messed up thing, because like I said, that's the one person I would not. I don't want to hurt her. We only have so much time here on this earth, and to waste it on something like that's such a vice on your life, because you can't, the only thing I thought of when I would go camping, and I love doing outdoor stuff, I love going and doing stuff, but I stopped because all I could think about was, am I going to have enough to last me through this time? Because I don't want to be coming down when I'm out there with my friends, or I don't want to be out there having fun, and and that's what I'm worrying about, is because I needed a prescription drug or something. Just because it's prescribed doesn't mean it's good. Half of that stuff, more than half of that stuff, is worse for your body than all of this other junk that's out there. And I think that's how some people think, and they start doing heroin. But that's horrible, man. Look at all of these people. They're ruining their lives. They're ruining everything that's out there. If I could save one person, if I could help one person, that's the world to me. But I want to help as many people as I can. If you need help just talking about it, you want me to help you find a list, in Arizona and Phoenix, or even out somewhere else, I'll help you any way I can to get you somewhere. If you just want to talk about it, because that was the biggest thing to me, is just talking to somebody and being truthful. You don't understand how much you lie to yourself and you lie to other people just because you don't want to feel like you're a piece of crap. You don't want to feel like you're lower than dirt. You're not. You're not. You're just trying to hide the fact of what it is. You're not a piece of crap. You're not all this stuff. But this is how people, society kind of looks at us. Oh, you're like this, you're a pile of crap, and you don't want to be labeled as that. You don't want to be labeled as an addict or a junkie or, you know, something like that. And, you know, there's a lot of things out there that you could do to change your life, whether you're way out or, you know, you've been doing it for a while, or, you know, whether you just started messing with this stuff. Just try to stop. Try to do something else. I don't care. Not like another drug, but go work out. You know, go get in a support group. Go to school. Do anything. I could literally go throw $500 down the freaking drain every day, and it'd be less expensive than doing this drug. And instead, that's what I did. You know, it was at one point where I made close to $300,000 in a year, and I'm broke. You know, having to ask for $20 because I make over $100 and some thousand consistently in a year, and you know, I'm asking for gas money. I'm losing vehicles. I've had, you know, multiple vehicles repoed or, you know, stuff like that. And I'm trying to be 100% honest. If you notice me, you know, be positive. Don't talk bad to somebody. I'm trying to be 100% honest with you guys. Whether 2 people watch this video or whether 1 million people watch this video, you know, I want to help somebody. And I want to, like I said, I want to build this support group, and I'd like to have support from people out there to help me get through this. Like I said, I gained a lot of weight doing this, so I wanted to get my body to kind of level out, to get off of these things to where I'm not doing them consistently, and then I wanted to start going back to the gym, which is something else, and, you know, start doing kind of a vlog thing and kind of keep going with it. And I think my goal is to do something positive every day, because you don't realize how short life really is, and you take it for granted, and it goes by. You know, like I said, starting off as a small little 10 milligram thing, going to that much, and then wasting that much money, that much time, that much. You know, I probably would have been a millionaire if I didn't spend the money that I spent. And now, you know, I am where I am right now. This is day 4. Going from buying that much in a day down to, you know, the first couple of days, the doctor, well, I talked to somebody that's a nurse, and they straight up kind of told me that because they're trying to build your body's tolerance, they want to see how it goes. They only bring you up little by little, and they tell you they don't recommend it, but it's probably a good idea to take. If you're coming down really hard, you know, take just a little bit to try to get you through to the next day. You know, that's the whole thing, is you got to take this one day at a time. I wanted to start this on day 1, but honestly, like, my hands were shaky. I'm still having a hard time, you know, just keeping calm about stuff. You know, and I think I've worked real hard at I've been wanting to quit for a long time, so I think I expected this. I got to the point, like I said, when I'm taking 40, 45 pills in a day, it wasn't to get high. It was just to not come down. You know, if I really wanted to get high, it didn't even do anything for me. Because in the beginning, you start feeling like you take one or you take a couple or whatever, and you just feel, you know, like, to me, I felt like I was up, and I was, you know, my back stopped hurting, and I kind of got like this boost of energy, and I could do stuff, and I just wanted to keep going, and I was a workaholic really bad, and I always was doing something. I wanted to go do this, and my back didn't hurt, so I just kept doing stuff. So it made me be able to do that. And like I said, and then finally get to the point where you're just doing it just to get by day to day, sleeping in. I can't get up now, and the pain now has came back. You know, it's like I said, I'm not doing it to get high. It's not taking the pain away anymore. All it's doing is I'm not shaking and burning and feeling like my life is gonna die. So, you know, if you have any questions, you want to go through stuff as we go. Like I said, today I'm kind of ranting and raving, kind of going along, you know, a lot of the stuff, but I want to start going and kind of going over one or two things every day. I do want to, I know this has kind of been like a negative kind of talk. I want to be 100% truthful with everybody, but I want you to know this is a positive thing. This is something I want you guys to know, that there's always help out there. There's always something you can do. There's always somebody that's willing to help you. Don't let people judge you because of what you're doing. You know, I have to go to the same places where there's heroin addicts and all this stuff, and you know, there's people with tattoos all over their faces and all this stuff, just to, you know, these are the places I went to. I finally found a place that's a little bit cleaner, but it's, you know, I never wanted to be around people like that. I never wanted it, but that's what I'm having to deal with to do. And I'm not saying that they're bad people or anything like that. It's just, you don't realize how bad it gets until you're sitting there looking at this guy sitting across from you shaking, and he's only, you know, he's shaking and he's going off or whatever. He's got tattoos and stuff, and you can see track marks in his arms, and he smells like cigarette smoke and looking like he just came out of a dumpster and stuff like this, and he's only 19 years old. That's messed up. And then you see the same thing, and the guy's 65. That's crazy. You know, this is crazy. This stuff is nuts. Whether it's pills or heroin, cocaine, crack, you know, meth, everything. There's people doing meth, heroin, all this stuff all at one time, and then they smoke weed to try to chill out, you know. And drugs, you know, without sounding like, you know, Dare or something like that, but drugs are bad, you know, or the South Park guy, you know, drugs are bad, you know, whatever. But I want to help. If I can affect one or two people, I don't want to see my kids go down. I'm more worried about my kids when they get older in life. It's bad enough that I'm having to deal with this right now, but now I got kids and I'm gonna have to worry about them. I've seen kids that are in these clinics and stuff too that are freaking young, man, young, like teenagers, or they could possibly be younger. That is so sad. Another big thing too is when these people, and these girls especially, there's things that they're doing just so that way they can get high, and they end up getting pregnant. You know, and I'll go over all of this stuff. I'll go over everything I see, how bad it gets, how everything goes. You know, without being negative, I kind of want to just stop it from here. But if there's anything that you guys want to talk about or anything like that, you know, email me or somehow get a hold of me or something like that. I'll start doing some stuff, and I'll get a PO box here pretty soon or something like that. But we'll go over it. I don't want to be a counselor as like a big thing like that. I want to work together with everybody, and we're gonna be a big group, you know, a big centered thing together. And if you want to join me on quitting your addiction or doing anything like that,